It worked. Now that Tesla's finally perfected time travel, I can finally see how the podcast is doing. Who are you, and what are you doing in my house?
Spaghetti Josephine.
Wait, I'm a girl in the future?
Oh yeah, big time.
Like, even down there?
Oh yeah, it all works.
So, wait, how does, sex feel as a girl?
Oh my god, so much better.
Really? Oh, okay. So how's the podcast doing?
Hopefully the podcast ends up becoming...
Stop right there! Get on your knees. You're under arrest for breaking the time law.
Oh no, it's the future versions of Portal Jumping Joel, Meteorite Marcel, Dark Matter Dane, Nebula Noah, and Geospace Josh. How did you finally find me?
It's easy to track you when your space Tesla doesn't even have a time muffler. I mean, really, how inconsiderate.
Fucking moron.
Darn. Well, take this. Well, I'm definitely going to jail.
Hey, that's the guy right there!
We gotta run.
Hello, and welcome to episode 28 of the No Thumbs Up podcast, where down is up and thumbs are down. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at The Atom Project, like the newest movie we've ever done from 2022, directed by Sean Levy. It is a film about time travel and Ryan Reynolds' ripped rockin' bod.
Fucking hot.
Right? There's only like one or two scenes where his shirt is up, but it's enough, you know?
Way more. It was in his contract. It had to be.
Just like Yaskier and Raleigh Beckett.
I still hold that of The Witcher. That actor must have been like, I got fucking jacked between seasons. You must include a shirtless, because it made no goddamn sense to the plot. He just wanted to show off his abs. I swear to God.
Like that is a contractual thing that people work in.
And you know what? Fair to them. They put the work in, you should be able to show it off.
It gets me watching. It's working.
I will say we've all been introduced here today besides Spaghetti Joe and our actress playing Spaghetti Josephine, Alex, who will be joining us for today.
Whoa, guests.
Woo, our very first special guest. Wow, we're really moving up in the world.
I'm so honored.
My name is Joel. I'll be your plotsman for today, so please sit down, get comfortable, and hit that banana smoking like button, or you'll be chopped into dust by definitely not a lightsaber. If you like what we're doing here, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and hit that like button. Hit the bell button too if you don't want to miss a single episode. Hello, everyone. This was Joseph's movie this week. I'm guessing you just chose it because you saw it on Netflix. There's not really any way any of us could have any prior experience with this movie.
We did have prior experience with this movie? Okay.
Oh yeah, don't you remember Joe said he watched a bit of it last time
Yeah.
you were listening?
I did. My parents were watching it, and then I started watching it too. And then I was like, hey, my mom's like, you guys should put this on the wheel. And I was kind of like, haha, yeah, Mom, I'll do that. And then we did it.
Has she ever seen any of the podcast?
Yeah, no, she's watched it.
Oh my god. I don't think anyone I know has watched it. This is all like
upstairs one day. And I'm just like, what are you watching, Mom? And she's like, oh, I'm watching your podcast. I'm like,
Aw.
damn, our biggest
Yeah,
fan, but also now we gotta watch what we say or else Dana's gonna come after us.
yeah.
I mean, technically though, the movie did have a theatrical release. It was in theaters, and I remember seeing the red carpet stuff for it on that the Millennial app TikTok. I saw a bunch of stuff for it on TikTok, so I knew it existed. But then I was also like, it's a movie that came out during the pandemic that wasn't a Marvel movie or the Batman. So
I was listening to something recently. I don't remember which movie they were talking about, but it's like, oh yeah, it was Turning Red, that new Pixar movie. It's like they will give a theatrical release, but it's only in a couple theaters so that it can technically be nominated for awards. But then the actual release is just on Disney Plus or Netflix or whatever.
Really?
I think we're gonna see more.
The new movie meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a bit about our movie to preface. Once again, it was released in 2022, directed by Sean Levy, a budget estimated of 116 million. I don't know if you tried to look for a box office thing, Dane, or if you're just like.
Since it was Netflix, I didn't see anything for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they're making it harder to tell now.
Yeah.
Only 116 million though.
Only? I thought that seems like a lot of
That's
money.
a lot of
Does seem
fucking
like
money.
A lot of money.
Does it seem like a lot of money? I don't know.
For that
No.
movie, yes. I feel like that's a lot of
I
money.
I mean,
no
like
money.
how much?
400 and
Pacific Rim to make?
471 million box office. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So quadruple that. How does that work?
Wait, this movie
Yeah.
made quadruple?
That's what
kinda
he's
crazy.
saying.
No fucking way.
That can't happen. This is bullshit.
That's an injustice.
Some people you may recognize in this movie are, of course, one of the main characters, Ryan Reynolds, who is Deadpool, Green Lantern. He's in Blade and many, many more. Jennifer Garner, who is the mom. She's in 13 Going on 30, Daredevil, Dude, Where's My Car, and also many more. Zoe Saldana, who plays Ryan Reynolds' wife. She was in Avatar, Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Trek, and many more. I will say, I can't remember her name is Laura. That's what it is. And Marky Mark Ruffalo plays their dad. He is the Hulk in Avengers. He's in Now You See Me, Shutter Island, stuff that. So pretty decent cast in this. I think the guy who plays young Adam is a relatively new actor, being that he's
Yeah.
young.
He
On
did
IMDb,
one
it
other
shows him-
movie.
Yeah,
The
it
young
shows him
Adam
as,
is
like,
gonna blow up.
Entertainment
Yeah, I
Tonight
can
and
see
like
it.
just like a bunch of like TV specials or something. So I guess he was featured on that earlier.
Doing the interview rounds for the movie, probably.
I told
Yeah.
this yesterday, but the reason like he got picked for it was because he could he remembered the opening. He remembered the most of Deadpool 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Like word for word, and during his audition, he went through the beginning of Deadpool 2, just in the opening to that, and Ryan Reynolds was like, "Yeah, this kid's it."
Way to show off you can memorize scripts.
And be a
Yeah.
good Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
He did play good young Ryan Reynolds, I guess. Ryan Reynolds was just Ryan Reynolds, but he did do a good job playing a 12-year-old version of that.
Like, this was a very Ryan Reynolds movie through and through. Like, it was just his.
He's the character.
He kind of takes it over. Yeah, it's hard not to. Like in what's the video game one he did? Free Guy.
Yeah. I
Well-
know that's a separate character. You can definitely tell Ryan Reynolds really just breaks into that role and becomes Guy. You know,
Yeah, he really loses himself in
He
the character.
on set, people be like, "Is this Guy or is this Ryan Reynolds?" This is crazy.
So if you have not seen the podcast before, every week each of us brings a movie to put on this wheel, and after we're done reviewing the plot, we'll give it a spin to see which movie we will be reviewing for the next week. I'm going to quickly go over what's on our wheel here, and then we'll jump into the plot. So we have Noah's movie, Step Up 2. I feel like we've got a good balance this week.
Shot in the dark, but I think it's about dancing.
You could be right.
It's about the
You're right.
Stairmaster.
Actually,
It's a workout tape.
Speaking of a shot in the dark, Marcel's movie, Dark Man. Anything to say? Alright. This is not Joe's movie this week, but Alex's movie. She put on Hereditary.
Ooh.
You know what it's about?
I've
okay.
seen it, but that's the one where it's it has those really cool shots of it being like a dollhouse kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that. Yeah. Get Hard is Josh's movie.
Mine. Yep.
Yeah. Will
Will Ferrell
Ferrell.
and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Hard.
Classic comedy.
It's
duo.
kind of like Big Stan.
Oh, fuck.
A fucking big stand.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Big Stan.
Yeah, it's like Will Ferrell
did too.
is going to jail, and Kevin Hart is teaching him how to get hard, so he won't die in jail.
All I remember from Big Stan is just wicked nipple play, where like he's just dancing from like his like just. I never wanted to see Rob Schneider being like, you know, BDSM from his nipples, but like Big Stan, if you're into that, Big Stan is the movie to see. I tell you.
I mean, honestly, sorry, Big Stan is the best comparison to Get Hard because they both learned how to keister for prison. So I mean, one and the same.
Yeah, the only thing I remember from that movie is he gets like some rank ass tattoo to prevent. Anyways, Werewolves Within is my movie. I just saw it under Goofy Movies on Netflix, and I saw that it had the guy from Detroiters and
Pretty
I think I
good,
should leave. Yeah. John Carpenter's The Thing is Dane's movie. Probably don't need to say much about it. It's a very classic horror movie.
Yeah.
Famous director. So at the end of the plot here, we will go through that and see which movie we're watching for next week. But without any further ado, we'll jump into the Atom Project. So it begins. Time travel exists. We just don't know it yet. Guardians of the Galaxy kind of esque music is playing as he's getting chased through space by somebody, and we don't see her yet. But the wormholes into the past. I like how the time travel works in this. I like shoots from the jet and then you've got to fly through it. I think that's pretty dope.
That's how it's going to work in the future, for sure.
When Tesla does it, anyways.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He gets through that greasy little wormhole and pieces out. Meanwhile, in the past, young Adam is being chased by some bullies. He bumps into a girl in the hallway and like stops to pick up her books. And I like how she's just like, no. And
Yo, low key though, her eyebrows.
I wrote that down.
Off the charts. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I noticed. She's just like, no, and I'm like, okay, Charlie Chaplin, like, sure. Like, I'm sorry. That's the only thing I noticed. I'm like, guys. By a bullet. Holy shit, caterpillars! All right, yeah, they're gonna catch him now.
Yeah.
Do you think they chose her for her eyebrows, or like why this girl?
Like, I'm sorry, that poor girl, but like, you know,
First mistake of this movie, casting her. Like,
Yeah.
what were they
Yeah.
thinking?
This is my thumbs down, Ron.
We're just bullying some young child. Quit acting.
honestly, either commit or quit it. Honestly.
When the bully finally catches him, he's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this," and he's like, "Who talks like that? You order like a bully starter kit from Amazon or something." I like that. Like Chuck is always just there, like the bully's friend. He's like, "Come on, Chuck, we talked about this." Like I didn't say anything. Shut up, Chuck. But he takes a knee to the rib anyways and falls to the ground slowly, has to take his little inhaler. We learn that it is the current day year of 2022. His mom just shows up to talk to the principal, doesn't even talk to them, just immediately goes and starts like yelling at the principal, like, "Oh, show some compassion. His father just passed away like last year," and it's like, clearly this kid's just getting the shit beat out of him constantly and then just getting suspended anyways for fighting.
I like she goes right to that though. She just walks in. It's like, hey, come on. Another year of this being like a valid excuse. Come on.
Yeah, they just jump right to it. There's
a lot of expo jumping in this movie where they're just kind of like, yeah, this is it because this is the way it is.
But it's like in the very beginning how they explain they're just time travel exists, just so you know. It's like, all right, well, honestly, I like that explanation. You don't need to go further into it. That's all we need.
in a lot of oh, go.
Sorry, I was just gonna say they jump the exposition a lot for the sake of explaining it later.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, like they definitely come back to it and they give a valid reason as to why everything is the way it is, I guess.
It was a very they had really good pacing with that. I found like even in the beginning, it's like there's info dumping, and then it's just like the next scene, it's like a genuine like good scene between like the son and the mom in the car, right? Like it's just like a genuine like heartfelt scene, and then again there's a bit more info dumping in that, but then it just like I found they did a really good job like balancing the actual like. You start out with like an action scene, then you go to like another action scene right away, and then you go to like some info dump. But we'll just get right back into like cool shit again, in, like 10 minutes.
I directed this movie.
Go on.
I do that. I don't know.
It's like, where's he going with this? In the car, he's kind of getting shit from his mom. Like, she's like, yeah, I know you got a big mouth. I know you brought this upon yourself. It's like, yeah, he's twice your size. He's like, everyone's twice my size. Which, if like that girl he bumped into in the hallway was any indication, yeah, he's a pretty small dude. They once again really dump it on the dad stuff. Is like, I don't understand you, and he's like, Dad would. And there's a long awkward silence.
It's me like dead. Fuck, you don't get it.
The third time he's been suspended, like they say, and she has a very just like, this is a time movie. She's like, son, you better start caring about the future because the future's coming sooner than you think. And you're like, okay.
At that, I was like, why is the kid a better actor than the one who's been acting for easily like 30 years? Like that was like ooh, if it was the 90s, yeah, like that would hit, Be like, time, you're crazy. It's 2022, bitch. Like, catch up. I'm sorry.
At home, it's like a really just sad image of him playing like pass with himself on the.
Yo, his dad's dead. You didn't catch that?
Really got us beat this one home.
The mom.
You obviously had a dad around, Joel. Like,
you didn't have a pitchback, But yeah, the mom is going on a date, but doesn't seem to know it's a date, or it's just, I don't know, suppressing that in her mind. We see real quick, he grabs a soda from the fridge and has to do like the double close on the fridge. And he's just real douche to his mom, but still like goes to like catch her and like zip up the back of her dress before she leaves, so she doesn't get all embarrassed. He gets a kiss from her and she's off, and she's like, don't play no video game. And he's like, I'm gonna play some video games. Hell yeah, boys. Video games.
Video games.
Y'all like gaming? Because today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is the hottest game of the year, and now you can experience it too with an extra tactical advantage. If you use the code Noah Woods Goods, you'll get 1,000 free gems and an exclusive Spaghetti Joe in-game hero. Moving on. So he's gaming hard to some VR flight pilot simulator when suddenly...
We're not getting that Shadow Legends money. What the fuck?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Joel is.
I don't know.
I mean, the way you were going, he almost fucking sold me on that for a second.
Joel
Like, did we
comes
let
into,
a
like,
fucking Raid Shadow Legends sponsor?
Funding by Raid? Fuck yeah.
You guys are just like, we don't see any of this money. I like slowly am putting on gold chains.
I'm buying supper tonight. I'm buying a hungry man.
Joel's like, hey, can you send us money for like advertising? Like, I kind of don't have much. And he's just getting his Raid Shadow sponsors. Just like reading his house in the back.
Snap stories like at the jewelry store, like getting iced out.
Yeah.
Homies lent me a few.
He's gaming hard on the VR flight pilot simulator when suddenly all the lights go out. Puppy goes to check what's going on, and he goes to follow suit. Worth noting, his name is Hawking. Pretty close to Hawking, guys. Pretty cool name. Moving on.
Like the cheesies, right?
Like me, yeah. I'm a cheesy guy. Before heading into the forest, he grabs his trusty baseball bat and finds many of the trees sparked and chopped in half, and he hears like some skittering in the forest, so they run back to the house. But too much skittering, and it's inhaler time. So you gotta take that again. It's a big crash, and the dog goes shooting into the garage where we see Deadpool. I mean, Green Lantern. I mean, Deadpool again. He's bleeding from the abdomen, and I just threw in, I'd like to clean my clothes off those washboard abs. Am I right?
Am I right?
He learns that the boy Adam is 12, which means that he like does his calculations. He's like, oh fuck, I went to the wrong year. And his mom is on a date with Derek, the guy with the mouth mullet who doesn't matter. And
Can we start calling goatees mouth mullets? I think that's a very statement that I truly believe in. That we should start,
Yeah,
getting up.
goatees.
Should we start a GoFundMe for this? Or a
like
change.org petition?
campaigning Webster's to.
The fin smile.
Goatee, also known as mouth mullet.
So the dog already loves the Ryan. I might mostly probably call him Ryan and Adam. When he goes to leave, like Adam just goes to swing the bat at him. He just catches it, throws it away. Goes to the kitchen, goes to like find something to eat, has to do the whole double close the fridge thing. So there's really like hammering it home, like this is you. And little Adam starts rooting through his bag and just see all of his gadgets and such. I like the line here. It's like, wait, you were shot? No, actually, I was stabbed with a bullet. Yes, I was shot. And the whole like little gag of him, like every time I cough, it farts.
Yeah.
Yeah, just continuing on the fact of him having a big mouth, like both of them do.
Yeah. Once again, like we were saying, like he's not acting he's just acting like Ryan Reynolds, so it's really just the kid's job to act also like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Does a damn good job.
He does
He
pretty
does.
good. The only time
No.
I dislike this kid is when he's doing like the smile that he does like 2 or 3 times. One of them being like we get laid in college. And
Oh
he's
yeah.
like,
Overexcited, just gremlin smile.
Yeah.
He's 12. Like,
Pupils
that's what
dilated.
kind of excited for. You meet like future you. You're 12 years old. It's like, hey, do we make a lot of money? Do we get a bit of action? And does it get better? And he's like, no, yes, no.
When Ryan needs to go and grab some stuff in the house and he's following him and slowly putting it all together, he's like, wait, you know my name, you know my dog's name, you know how to close the fridge, you know about my mom, you were on that watch, you're my dad. No, he's like, yeah, you're me. I like how they break this scene with just the again.
That is my fucking thumbs. That is my huge gripe. This whole movie trope of like, you have a nice genuine scene, or you have tension building moment, something like that, and then you break it with some kind of shitty joke like that. I fucking hate this movie trope. That pissed me off so much watching this. I was like, I swear to fucking God, you just had a sweet moment. Why'd you have to do this again?
See, I love
Every time.
like if I say something a little too interpersonal, I'm like, like I don't know.
But exactly, why do you say that? Because then it feels too emotional. So it's like if they would just let it linger a couple of seconds, then
Yeah. That's what I was messaging Joel like when I first started watching. I was like, I kind of hate how in these Ryan Reynolds movie everything is just gagified. That's a bad word for it. Turn into a gag, but
They can't like have a genuine emotional feeling or something. They have something to lighten the mood. It's like I think it was the guy like Kevin Feige, the Marvel guy, said something along the lines of you can have a genuine moment or something, but for the love of God, break the tension with a joke. And I'm like, this is the fucking problem. This is why nothing can be serious anymore. I hate it so much.
yeah.
I don't think
And
this
being
movie.
shot.
This movie doesn't do that too much, though. It only does it like once or twice, I guess.
That
in
was enough.
Yeah, but
One
you,
time.
you have to think. You have to think of how many other genuine moments there are in this movie where they don't beat
There-
Frodo.
The ones where
There
they
are, but
end up being really fucking cringy because you're like, yeah, this is an action comedy, and like, it's heartfelt, sure, but at the same time, the concept's a little fucking weird. Like, I'm referring to the scene where he's like at the bar with his mom. They really let it sit there for a bit, and I'm kind of like, is he trying to fuck his mom? Like, I'm sorry, we're gonna get to that. I messaged Joel, and I went, this is taking a really weird turn, and I don't know if that's just me. Maybe I spent too much time on the internet. Maybe I got a weird Freudian thing myself. We'll see. But like, I'm like, this scene is making me uncomfortable as shit. And Joel's like, it seemed like that though. I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. So the scenes that linger, I genuinely go, this is a really weird fucking relationship. And add the time travel aspect in, this is some shit you can pay like $19.99 to see, right? So
oh,
like,
hey, past stepmom.
It's like Marcel just sent me. He was just like, no, he's not gonna. He won't. And I was like, I know which part he's talking about.
I actually really enjoyed that scene. I was just like real emotional with it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like that's so nice for her to hear, and I was just like,
It
aw,
was, yeah.
I really liked it. I
Nah,
was a
made
big
me
fan.
too.
Also, Marcel, you said something about Freudian. Can you quote one thing Freud has written?
do
Or
you
is it a
think
TikTok thing?
like genius or something? Nah, I just know who the guy was.
I was
Because the
thinking
whole
he
thing
meant.
where it's like, hey, you
Some
got-
kind of Oedipus complex.
Yeah, I think that's what he was thinking of.
Freud had a thing about how like every man secretly wants to fuck his mother and every girl secretly wants to fuck their dad. He's like the father of psychology.
I thought that
something
was the
like
Oedipus
Yeah.
thing.
That's
No.
okay,
Nah,
okay,
I mean,
they're
Oedipus,
related.
Oedipus did fuck his mom, I think. I don't know. I never
Not
read
on
it.
purpose, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Oh.
on purpose. All right.
I just fell into my mom's vagina.
Sigmund Freud.
That's essentially. It's like I was tricked by her lustful whimsy and fell into. Like that's how it goes.
Tricked by her feminine wives.
Sigmund Freud introduced the concept in his book about the Oedipus complex. Is what it was. Anyways, past that, they're in the forest, and Ryan reveals that he can't get into his jet because he's injured, so it won't clear him to fly. Luckily, he has a version of himself who can open it up. A little surfboard comes down. They're up there in a jiffy. If this thing turns on, they'll be able to track where they are. If what's her name, Saurian, is in the same timeline as him. This whole time, one thing I don't really like is he keeps being like, "Oh, who are you? What are you doing?" Blah 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 blah. And he's like, "Us, classified, 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 classified," and then he just starts revealing it all, anyways. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
classified. Anyway, so this is like the entire like life story since you were like 12. But anyway, and he literally for every time he'd just be like, "Yeah, it's classified." So here's exactly what like happened.
Also, here's in what's Area 51.
Alright, that's classified. But anyway, it's where we keep all the aliens that like we caught over the years. So,
Yeah, why isn't he giving them like photo numbers or just like
Yeah, true.
some companies that are up and coming to throw money at?
they do mention that at one point. He before he goes.
Yeah,
to
they don't want to
bed.
like screw with the future or something.
Um,
They say that, yet that's all they do.
so
Saying he's just been screwing up the future this whole time. That's literally this whole movie.
So basically, both the ship and him need to do some self-healing. And then they give the whole spiel on how this time travel works. He's like, wait, like, if you come back here, like, do you remember this all happening or whatever? And they say that basically if you leave your timeline and then you screw with something, when you go back to your timeline, all of your memories, like, change to what you have changed. So that's their...
I like how they touch upon that though, because I
Yeah.
find like movies you really need to just you don't have to answer all the questions. You just have to answer some of them. Like,
I like it when they create their own version of time travel, so they don't have to think about all the weird logical shit of the other things. Like, they have their own, they can contain it. It's like, that's not allowed to happen because that doesn't happen, doesn't have time travel. So they can really...
I really like that because, like, when younger Adam, because watching time travel movies, I've had that same thing of like when he was talking about. So, do you remember this conversation we had? Because if you're doing this to me now, that means you must have done that to yourself when you were younger, and like that time loop type of thing. And I'm like, I've had that thought while watching time travel movies before, and they're just like, they're like, Nah.
It's like, oh, no.
We ain't getting into this shit. Nah. Specific time streams. No complicated bullshit. I really enjoyed that, actually.
Yeah.
Like the death, and it's like, yeah, if you die outside your time stream, it just gets complicated. I'm like, yeah, how does that? Like, they just, I guess technically you don't exist here, so like, you just reset. Like,
You're
It's
just
not-
an echo.
It also answers the question of just like, well, wouldn't the cops like find all these bodies? Like, you don't have to deal with that, right? So it's
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, they just disappear.
but it was a good way to just kind of like cover up a lot of like, just keep the action going. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It also lets you kill a bunch of people without there being gore and making it so that like kids can still see this movie. Just like all the almost swears that I'm gonna smoke your banana, and then he always gets cut off. It's like you just keep almost getting there.
What's this movie?
That is the that is the worst insult you can say to someone.
I love
I'm
it.
gonna smoke your banana. I'm gonna polish your hog. Like, what are you fucking going with that?
I'm cranking your hog.
Yeah.
Found out you can get away with saying Jesus, because like the amount of times that like just, that they use Jesus instead of like any other swear word, I'm like, yeah, I guess you can kind of get away with that. That's just more of like,
It's just a dude.
Like, it's just a dude, right? So like, I this was like the first movie in a long time where I heard like the term like Jesus. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, I guess you can kind of get away with that. Like,
Especially in today's day and
sorry,
age.
Catholic Church power is withholding.
I do like the whole joke here too. If it's like, so it's like, oh, so you might be fucking up my whole like future. And he's like, no, it's like your future's pretty tragic, anyways. Just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not. Before Ryan goes to bed, we see a picture of his wife Laura, and the kid leaves, and he's like, hey, this is amazing. In the morning, his his mom gets home from the date and sees him still up, and he's just like, this night has been full of surprises, mother. And she's just like, that's chilling, no further questions. The date allegedly didn't go very good. She went out with the man with the mouth mullet, and when the dude comes to the door to return her scarf, he says like, oh, nice mouth mullet, just like beaking this guy. And he's like, yeah, like I hope we see each other again. He's like, oh, well,
Not
that's
likely.
unlikely.
Yeah.
Um,
No fucking asshole.
A good word for you, though.
His mom literally just goes out on the deck to cry, and Ryan can see her from the cabin, just watches her. The next day, she's home from work. She can't find her tax statements in this big pile of papers, which is where her dad used to put all the taxes and stuff. The kid's being a real dick about it. He's just like, oh, what? You can't find your fucking tax sheet? Oh, imagine that. She's like, oh, can you please help me just go through these? Oh, I can't. I gotta go think about what I've done. It's like, bitch.
Yeah. Really start to hate the kid here.
Yeah.
Really does have a punchable face.
I was kind of glad because I didn't suspect that to be a point of the movie that he was a dick to his mom. I was just like, damn, fuck this kid. And then they brought it up like, no, like, you're being bad. And then as she's leaving, she's like, call me if you need me. He's like, I won't. She just stops in her tracks. And
I was just like, man, if I was a parent and I said that, my kid like said that back to me, I was just like, oh,
yeah.
all right.
Little Adam goes to visit Ryan, who's looking pretty ripped. He gets excited again. He's like, does this mean I also get ripped? Do we get in college? Just wondering.
Yo, like, low key.
Do we
You ever get some puss? Like,
stop me when I get there? Oh my god. Really? He just like the look of pure euphoria on this kid's face when he realizes he's like, I'm gonna fuck. Ryan runs out of the place to go to the drugstore, and he's like, you can't go like that. You should go put on some of Dad's clothes. Time for a 90s style makeover montage.
I don't like this scene at all.
This scene gets real sad.
It gets really, it kind of hits a bit home, a little too much. It gets a little too in. I'm like, hey, action comedy. This isn't comedy. None of this.
Yeah, the closet has not been emptied out. Kid once again being a dick to his mom's like, yeah, mom's not much of a housekeeper, and Ryan just blows up on him. He's like, you have her to take care of you. She has no one. Like every morning she wakes up with a broken heart and a full closet, and you give her nothing but a fistful of crap. That's something else.
You're just giving your mom the clap.
No. As soon as I said it, I knew it was coming. So yeah, he says he gets sick to his stomach every time he thinks about how they treated her. They're talking about how much they miss his dad and how the jacket's not going to fit him. He's like, yeah, it's going to fit me. Which I think it kind of does fit him until he tries to do it up, but then they make fun of him.
Mm-hmm. Sauce busting from the casing.
Like, what do they say? It's like a condom,
with buttons.
Yeah. While Ryan is in the pharmacy, the bullies confront little Adam, and he asks to skip the ass kicking for today, but they don't go for it. It takes a few shots to the spleen when Ryan comes out and like kind of breaks it up, and he's like, "Hey, I need to like sidebar with Adam for a second. Like, you're just gonna smile like you've been waiting your whole life for this. You're gonna drop down and smoke him in the banana." And then like when he goes over there, there's the "I'm gonna smoke your banana, and then he's like, no, that's not what I said. Yeah, he just ends up taking a couple shots to the face and stomach, getting thrown down, just tossed, bloody faced again, and he runs away. Ryan pushes the bully up against the wall and just threatens him till he pisses his pants, and that's the end of it. That's how you.
He's totally just not a bro to his younger self, man. That's such an unsatisfying scene. I was like so ready for the kid to like hit that dude in the nards and just get his shit rocked, but
yeah,
it was sad. I didn't like seeing him just get punched out.
Getting his banana smoked, his shit rocked.
Yeah, like you see the point of just him being like, yeah, you don't get to become a sick fighter unless you just get fucking beat up all the time. But yeah, but it's kind of nice because it subverts expectations. That's not what you think.
At the very least, I wanted to see Ryan just like punch the minor in the face a few times.
Deserved it. Honestly, they're in like a very public place. Where is anyone else watching this? Like, two kids fighting, yeah, that's a fairly normal occurrence or something. But you see a grown man just pin up a fucking child against the wall and start threatening them. Like, there's someone else in public walking by this. Has got to say something.
I'm surprised
right?
they didn't do a gag about that. I thought they were gonna.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
Little Adam ends up being kind of pissed that Ryan doesn't help him and locks him out of the garage. He's written through all of his stuff. Hey, who's this? That was my wife, Laura. And yeah, he's like, he gets pissed and walks away, and he goes to unlock the door, but he's already gone. Ryan's gone to the bar where he sees his mom, and she's talking to the bartender. She's like, "Oh yeah, you better enjoy your baby because he's gonna turn into a love assassinating teenager."
Yeah, my kid's a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm crying, I lost my husband, he lost a dad. I get that. But he's a real big piece of shit.
It's like the skit from
I think you should leave.
I think you should leave. It's like Ryan Reynolds can say that. I used to be a real piece of shit.
I used to be a real.
Because I used to be a real piece of shit.
Oh, no, you gotta say it now. Okay. The mom says she wishes that she knew what she was doing wrong, which is where Ryan pipes up. She's like, "You're not doing anything wrong," and then he spooks her a little bit, but the line I really don't like here is he's like, "Boys always come back to their mamas," and it's supposed to be taken really seriously.
I thought that was sweet.
But like, I don't know. It's just a weird line to say to a stranger. Like, if you were any less hot. I'd
Oh
be
yeah,
like-
it's very just like I know you more than I am, like than I do right now, sort of conversation. But
Yeah.
If you weren't Ryan Reynolds, I would definitely fucking mace you right now.
you know that
Yeah.
meme of like
Ryan
the
Reynolds?
one guy going to like the HR thing. It's like the fat guy saying, "Hey, beautiful," and she's like, "Ah, HR," and then it's like the guy in the suit. She's like, "Oh," and essentially that.
Yeah.
So he's like, she says, "You must be speaking from experience. Oh, yeah, you must have a good mom. I have the best mom."
In the world, she's really great. I
the
love
the way he said that too was kind of
Made me
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You think Joel going like,
Intense
it's getting a little.
Gotta
Uh,
best mom.
I don't know how I like that.
I've
You
got
know, like
the
a thing
hottest
for
mom.
moms.
Like the scene overall was really cute, and I feel like if I went back in time and like tried to correct things with my mother, I would be like trying to really drill it home that like, you know, I love you, but like I'm not going to tell you because I'm from the future or something. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't know. It might not end up like how he did it.
The part I do like in this liking is the part where he's like, "You're grieving too," and like he thinks that you're not. So like, you're looking strong for him, but now he's treating you like shit because he thinks that he believes you. She notices right before he leaves, "Oh, hey, my husband used to have that jacket." Yeah, well, it was a classic. By the way, before I leave, he doesn't hate you. He loves you more than he knows, and then runs away. And she's like, "Wait a minute," and runs out. But I don't know what. See, and then there's that when she's like, "Wait a minute," and follows him. I'm like, why did she follow him? Did she?
Because like you're going to the
More
bar,
than he knows. Part.
and then guys just like, hey, your son loves you more than you know. It just like hits everything you needed to hear that night, and then just disappears.
I
Well,
feel like it has.
Remember earlier in the movie, she's like hugging her son, and she pretends to be talking for him, and she's like, "Yeah, Mom, I love you more than you know."
Oh, right.
Oh,
Right.
damn!
Oh.
I didn't even pick up on that.
No.
Yo, yeah. that
No
makes sense
wasted dialogue.
So
I don't know. I could there's some wasted dialogue.
we
A
see
little bit.
Sorian is in their present time. She's there with a bunch of these like stormtroopers in black, pretty much. The
Yes.
boys.
I'm sorry. That scene where she turns around in like the jet, I'm like, this is just Star Wars. Like this looks damn near like.
She's like literally Darth Vader.
Yeah. Sorian pulls off the best Sith Lord look.
Yeah.
The boys are eating some breakfast. Adam wants to know about Laura, and he's like, "Yeah, she's my wife too." It's like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
They
Nope, not quite yet.
They met in the academy. She was 20 minutes late to the wrong classroom in the wrong building, and he says he was all in before they made it outside. She apparently came back to 2018 and jumped, and then she had a problem on re-entry, even though she wrote the book on re-entry, and so he thinks that she's still there. So I think, like, even though they kind of make it seem like there's a dialogue later where it's like, "Wait, you're coming back to stop somebody's death," and he's like, "Oh, who do you think?" It's supposed to be the dad, but at the same time, I think that it's actually the wife. So I
don't think it's supposed to be the dad because in 2022 they say he dies a year and a half ago, and that's not 2018.
Yeah, Brian came back for the wife. The wife came back.
Because I think before he knows about the wife, he says like, "What do you think?" Or I don't know, maybe not. I have it all confused. But they start.
Time travel is a very easy concept to understand.
They learn that Sorian is the bad guy working with his dad, and that the dad created this thing called the Atom Project, his favorite son, and he thinks that Saurian actually killed Laura. The dog starts acting a little bit off, and so Ryan's tipped off that, oh, these people are coming. He grabs his lightsaber, puts it in his jacket pocket, which, like, man, that's a deep pocket right there. He grabs a little grenade and tells Adam to start running. I like when he throws the thing there. Like, I feel like all the effects and like CG in this movie I really like. Like, I really like the animation when they die, and it's like kind of a rainbow spark.
I say it reminds me of like an Unreal Engine 4 game. All the particle effects and everything.
Yeah.
Like they honestly could have done it in Unreal Engine. They used Dune, or they used Unreal Engine for Dune. They could have done it for this shit.
Interesting.
Also, the how satisfying it was, the perfectly timed grenade as they open the door and they walk like on it.
Ryan turns around to get the one guy he knows is going to be coming in the back for some reason. Maybe that's just their strategy, so he just knows it. It tackles that guy to the ground, clocks him out. And might I say here that Ryan starts going just ham at this moment. He's kicking people's butts, giving them an absolute ass licking.
Like the first, like, because we see him as a wounded guy, and then he, like, I was kind of, I guess, like, I mean, I should have guessed, but this is like, you know, we're what, 30 minutes into the movie, and then he's just like, yeah, by the way, I kicked serious fucking ass. like he just like pulls all the stops, you know, like he's doing like, I don't, yeah, like it was just, I don't know, it took me by surprise, but maybe it, like, granted, you know, you're watching this movie where it's just mostly him and like the 12-year-old having dialogue together, and then he's just like, yeah, I'm also kind of like Deadpool still, like I'm, you know.
What's with like the future's obsession with like melee weapons? Like, come on, they gotta have some sort of like better gun or something.
Nobody can. They have stormtrooper syndrome. Nobody can hit a shot.
I know. Oh, true. Yeah,
Like-
that's why.
Especially that, like, I know we're not quite there yet, but with like Laura later, when when she has her like pulse, or like not a pulse rate, but when she has her
Piercing
rifle
thing.
there, yeah, I was like, isn't she supposed to be like really fucking good with these things? How is nothing hitting anyone? Like,
I mean, like, they have like a lock on. Like, the jet has like a lock on to like their car, and it still misses.
Yeah.
And
You
like,
just swerve and dodge like a missile from some future craft. Like,
Like
yeah,
a fucking 80s Chevy S10. Just like, nah, this ain't working, bro.
war economy's lacking in the
if
future.
that's where our technology is gonna be in 30 years, we really fucked up somewhere.
That's the Elon Musk's AI future. All
but
glitchy.
yeah. So Ryan Reynolds is kicking some butt. Would you guys say he looks like a pretty healthy, athletic guy?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd say you could stand to lose a few.
like, one thing that helps Ryan stay energetic and fight baddies at the drop of a hat is Athletic Greens. That's right, everyone. Athletic Greens is once to twice a day supplement that you can take in your water, your smoothies, or juices to get over 75 vitamins and adaptogens. That'll help you be alert and nimble enough to Jedi the fuck out of some Space Air Force pilots that try to jack your shit up. The best part is that if you use code SPAGHETTI at checkout, you'll not only get half off your order of $50 or more, but you get a free sample of the new flavor, No Plums Up. That's right, plum flavor. Moving on. So he pulls out his space sword and
Just fucking move on after
You
that.
actually went and made that
That's
referral
so
codes for a
fucking
bunch of
good.
different advertisements.
I'm in.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Off brand products, like let's just like I love it.
Let's
Hey,
advertise until we
I
get
swear-
paid.
Yeah.
If you interrupt later with a NordVPN ad read, I swear to fucking God.
No, of course not.
You have to time
There's
it though, with,
already
like,
the
Marcel
raid
disconnecting
shadow.
or something.
He pulls out his space sword, which Adam aptly says, like, that's a lightsaber, dude. He does a power slam on the ground, knocking everyone away except Adam for some reason.
Yeah,
I like that this weapon has a move set to it.
Yeah, like the way he like launches himself off the ground when he's like laying down.
Yeah, that was sick.
That was badass.
That was badass.
Saurian's, like, I don't know what to call him, like, head guy, Christos, aka just
Wacky.
Zuko, like, half a burnt face. shows up and he's like, come on, or like Sorian's just like, yeah, come on, Ryan, I didn't even kill Laura, come on, she's my friend, and anyways, guns. Starts pointing the guns at him, and all of a sudden some Zed Leppelin starts playing, Led Zeppelin, and Laura shows up out of nowhere, and they start kicking some ass together. This is my thumbs up moment. I really like the hand-to-hand stuff, especially with the lightsaber, because I'm a nerd. I already said the animation here I really like. Yeah, so after enough people die there, Sorian's just like, you know what, I'm not going to use these guns. I don't really feel like it. And for some reason, they just will not shoot Ryan Reynolds. And I don't know why.
They really want to bring him back.
Yeah, for some reason. So yeah, they get into, what kind of truck did you say, Joe?
Oh, I mean, it's probably like a Blazer of some sort, or I just said like a Chevy S10. I don't know.
A lot of Chevys in this though. Like all of like the bad vehicles are all just like Tahoes, and I was like, wow, they really. And like even the old truck, I'm pretty sure it was a Chevy. I'm like, man, they must have had one spot.
Yeah, they have all Chevys, and then they just have one Subaru.
What the fuck?
Basement and everything.
It's like, which were they sponsored by?
Well, they were allowed to say the name of one of them. So.
Like,
Yeah.
$100 off, but get fucked. We'll have one fucking Subaru and Chevy Tahoes for the rest. Like,
Yeah, so they get in that truck, they start running away, and they're being followed by the jet. They decide to get off the road into the forest, which is very much very Star Wars, especially with the two guys that are essentially like on speeder bikes, like following them around. They even kill them in the same way, where one of them crashes into the tree and like.
You have to be so tongue-in-cheek. Like, everyone knows this is going to be a Star Wars thing, so who cares?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start. Okay, well, first off, it's like it's not that easy to drive just randomly through a forest.
I was going to say, she's the best fucking driver in the world to dodge trees in a dense forest.
Fucking Christ, an e-brake turn, just full 180s in the middle of tree cover.
6 and 12, no fucking problem. Just casually, like, looking back. I'm like, yo, they're.
Yeah, so can you go reverse? Just like pedal to the thing, just think backwards. Ooh.
And like even while she's going backwards, she like takes a minute to like look forwards at like the people. It's like you don't have the time for that.
Yo, I'm sorry. Forest, like.
They get away somehow and make it to her cute little house in the middle of nowhere. They find that there is a like time travel log where somebody left from 2018 but never originally came to 2018, meaning that the timeline that they came from is gone, so they changed the time thing. So
that's what that meant.
Yeah, so they're like oh, time travel existed. Sorian went back, made a bunch of money, bought the company, and then like took over. Is what happens. So she came back, got rid of political stuff, made money, did all that. The wife has been there for the Laura. She's not just a wife.
That's a real moment.
Laura has been there for 4 years because when she came back, she was like shut down or something, and her like ship stops working. She has to stay there. She has to like eject, and she has to minimize her contacts, so she can't even talk to anybody. She's basically been alone for 4 years. They start getting their rocks and socks off here, so Adam has to take his eyes and ears for a walk, and man, they slam each other around hard. Like when he throws her onto the table, I'm like, damn, just like break her tailbone.
Breaking her back, literally.
Careful, this table's an antique.
I mean, it's a pretty cute little cottage. I'd like to spend some time there.
I'd like to slam in that
I want
cottage.
to slam in that cottage too, Joel. You're right. Slam cottage.
One steamy session later, they have to have a hard discussion about that they can't stay in this time because basically they're going to keep getting chased, so they have to go back and stop the creation of time travel from ever happening. they hear this loud siren go off inside her house. That means that they've been downed, I guess. So she has to force Big Adam and Little Adam to leave her, and she's like, no, I got this place is tricked out with weapons. Like, I've had 4 years to repair. You think I'm gonna die? And so he leaves, and he's really pissed. And I think that part really hits, where he's like punching the steering wheel. He's like, no. But then she goes in. She's like, "Okay, I got one detonator and a single rifle. I fucking got this."
I break the wall, like the road with like some mines, and I got a rifle. Like that. That's for
Like,
well spent.
she opens up her
No!
cellar. It's just like lined with guns. She's like, "This is the only one I need."
Yeah.
Like, not even a backup to sling. She's just like, "I like this one."
Let me take cover in the safest place around here, the middle of the street. Yeah, so they start coming towards her, blows up the thing, kills no one. They all just hop out of the vehicle. She misses all of her shots on them, and eventually the jet shows up, and we cut away before her ultimate demise.
I want to say the part where she flips
I wanted
the.
her turn into Stardust. You know, like I was like. I feel like it would have been a little more impactful instead of just a white screen for 2 seconds, like half blinding me at 12 at night. Like,
Yeah, but that's
Bang out.
important. Gets the point across without you being really sad that she died.
and I'm just like, I
Even though
can't
it's implied.
laugh at the next scene. What the fuck just happened?
It's the implication.
Yeah, but like the scene where she like flips the truck over and like lets the guy get out, have a conversation with him, then proceeds to miss all of her shots. It's like,
She got that gold
Almost
star,
like she
too.
wanted to die.
yeah, I think she wanted to die. There ain't no reason.
I think
to, like,
she
just
didn't know
pop
how
his
to
head
like.
off.
She didn't know how to like break up with him. So she's like, "Fuck!" Like he just goes to a different timeline. I'll just fucking die here. I've had
Just
enough of
needed
this
a
shit.
way
Time
out.
relationships are hard, man. You
Yeah.
thought long distance was hard. You ever had fucking
It must have been
long
like a
time
toxic
jump
one, bro.
relationships?
That it with the I've gotten used to being alone.
You know what? I kind of like it.
Turns out Ryan doesn't really have a plan to destroy time travel, but he knows someone who does. Good old Daddy. So he's like, "You with me, or you?" And then he just like he's grabbing his necklace, and the thing appears above him. They get chased around a little in the jet before he pulls some janky engine off maneuver, which I feel like is also from maybe some Star Wars thing or something. Anyways, they
It's from a lot of things. If they're being chased by
It's probably from a couple war
they're like,
movies.
"No, let's burn off the plane." It's
Yeah.
in the A-Team. Like, that's honestly the only one I can actually think of that actually does it. But yeah,
It's in
the
the A-Team.
What I don't understand is they know
It's
like,
in the A-Team.
it's not like a radar that tracks it. It like knows where it is specifically. So when it's still on when they pass it. Shouldn't they still know where it is? Because it's not a bouncing radar system.
they're
I
not
think
paying.
it's the thing where they have to see them.
You look at the radar like every 10 to 15.
They cut the power to everything though, so
Yeah,
like maybe they can't get like a power signature on it.
I'm just saying if
That's the, that,
He
I
like
thought about
turned it
that
off
same thing
before they
too.
even passed by again. Like he turns it on right at the end to stop them from falling, and then they later pass by. It's just like
Yeah.
it's not.
you know the
I think
sign.
They're like, wait, he went off during this general area. Let's just camp it out.
Semantics.
and they do camp it out.
Yeah.
But they have just one jump left, so he leaves it up to Lil Adam to decide, and he's like, "Fuck it, punch that shit." And they go up into the air and start like racing towards the other jet for some reason, and opens up a little wormhole, and he flies through, and they go to 2018. Which, if you've, I don't know, this transition here where they go like through the thing and then it like fades to the college with the leaves flowing stuff, giving me very much Umbrella Academy vibes. If any of you guys have watched that. Mark Ruffalo is teaching a physics class, and mostly the point that he's trying to get across is sometimes scientists work on shit for a long time and it's not solved or used until much after their death. Big Adam like has to reassure little Adam that, hey, we can't tell Dad that he's gonna die, and he's like, okay, fine. I like the little joke here. Mark is just like, yeah, like sometimes it takes a long time for like scientists to figure stuff out. I just got your shirt, by the way, and it's a picture of Nick Cage that says John Travolta from the movie Face Off, where they switch faces.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
because I was looking at it and I was like, I have no idea what this means.
Yeah.
It took me a while. I like paused it and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
So yeah, he's talking about a quote from the Romans that says, "Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think." And Ryan's like, "That's from Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians. This song, Enjoy Yourself." And he's like, "Yeah, well, it's originally from this, so we're both right." He immediately knows. He's like, "Adam, is that you?" Like, I guess.
It's kind of my like thumbs down moment where like, why does he immediately know like what's going on? Like he even goes on to say that he's like, oh, I knew you were Adam. I knew I was gonna die. I knew
Dude,
like, I knew all this
time
stuff. It's like,
travel. He knows.
how do you know
He
this?
knows.
My guess is he knew he was gonna die because he saw both of them wearing his watch, and he's like, "Well,
Or the jacket. Did you still have the jacket on?
Well, the
At that
jacket.
yeah, the jacket too."
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm glad Alex.
Yeah, I like having Alex here. Yeah, I'm kind of brain for this shit.
The
Female perspective.
and then the
Where guys are just like, yeah, how the fuck did he know that? Like,
Well, it's like if it's like I don't know. I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'll just keep watching.
bullshit.
Now I enjoy it more knowing.
you would imagine if like Ryan Reynolds was actually an older version of this kid, like not just two actors, then maybe he would be like, oh, like I can recognize you. So I don't know if that's what you're supposed to get, but yeah, he knows that's him anyways. He's like, hey, is this time travel? Yep, it's time travel.
Also, look, when Mark Ruffalo, this is like, I know this is like immediately right after, but I'm totally gonna forget before we get to it. But like when they're like walking out of like the college and stuff, like he's just like, oh, you wear my jacket terribly. And low key, Ryan Reynolds does wear that jacket not good. I just realized like
A little small.
at all.
when it's
But I didn't notice the entire movie because you're Ryan Reynolds.
when it's done up, it looks bad. When it's open, I think it looks fine.
Mhm.
Like those jackets, all right, boys.
Yeah.
Open flannel, open jackets. It makes the curve looks less curvy.
I say I just buy extra baggy clothes, so I don't have to worry.
Pro
Either
strat.
side players.
So Mark is just not letting them speak at all because he's like, oh, you can't tell me anything. You guys are fucking with time travel, blah, blah, blah. And until Ryan just clocks his dad. Seems like pretty unnecessary, but he goes for it. And then, like, I need to, like, recreate this. Like,
Yeah.
Mark
This
hits
is
him
my
with
moment.
the-
This is my thumbs up. Yeah, it's like a weird like Superman inch punch. Like,
Yeah. And even the kid's just like, oh, good punch, Dad.
yeah, that was so funny.
That really just seems like the pat you on the back, like, you know what? You fucking put an effort into that one at least.
Yeah. He thinks he broke his hand, and they go to this motel where Mark once again is talking about, oh, my hubris and the scientists, blah, blah, blah. And Ryan's, yeah, it's no terrible character flaw that you have. Just keeps like, he's basically being to his dad what young Adam was to his mom. He says they're gonna try and put the genie back in the bottle of time travel, but like Mark still won't believe them. He's like, oh, you don't have any proof that they changed all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. He's like, stop being a scientist and start being a father. Like, I'm fine, but this little kid needs you. And he's like, oh, well, what do you need? Long silence. A walk.
A
And then-
tailor.
a tailor.
Because I ripped my pants.
The little Adam wants to tell him about his death, but Mark won't have it. He needs to go home and see his wife and other Adam. At Saurian's office, deep faked other Saurian is on the phone, and older one walks in. I guess she was there 2 months ago for the little one, and 32 years before for the older one. The younger one seems to still think that this is all unethical and illegal, and we shouldn't have done this. There's a huge environmental impact from just the stocks we bought. And she's like, yeah, no, the Earth's dying. Don't worry about it. Back with the Adams, it's just those two outside, and little one is just like, I know why you hate Dad. It's because he died, and like hating him was easier than being sad. You got something to
On
say,
this
Jeff?
episode of shit 12-year-olds have never said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got real philosophical real
This is
quick.
Like,
really
I
just
don't
like
know.
one of those Facebook mom posts where they're like, oh my god, my 3-year-old said take down the patriarchy. Can you believe this, guys?
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Those are so bad.
I hate Facebook moms.
I feel like this movie has a lot of just like stuff that young Adam says that's like way too over his head. Where it's like, no, you weren't thinking about this.
I mean, they constantly bring up the thing of like, how you're so smart. How are you so smart? How are you so
Yeah.
dumb?
So dumb.
like and like there's the whole thing of just like him like, oh no, he didn't get the pitch back because he didn't want to. It's because we asked for it. It's like we begged for it all the time. It's like, you don't remember that? Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess
Oh,
you
dude's
forget
got
a
some
lot of stuff. I
psychosis
can't
with
fucking
the
I
remember
was gonna say,
shit.
maybe when like a family member dies, you know, maybe your brain kind of goes into a fog. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only remember certain aspects about him.
It's a thing. It really hits, and I cried during this entire scene.
I didn't.
Yeah, I'm kind of actually pretty tough. Like,
I only cried once.
When I was born, that's it.
So they both realize they're bad at dealing with their shit, and that doesn't sound like a very good way to live. You know, hating yourself, pushing those feelings down, it's no good. But you know what does really help is talking to somebody, and that's exactly why we've joined up with BetterHelp to get you half off a monthly membership, so you can tag that baggage and throw it away instead get a bag. You know. So you can use the code, oh yeah, it's Thummin' Time, and as a bonus you'll get a free therapy session with one of us. That's right, the thumbling of your chin.
BetterHelp, my fucking email address, but for the last 3 weeks, I've been getting fucking BetterHelp, and I'm like, why? I don't know, like, where you got this from. So, like, fuck you, fuck that.
It's one of those things, like, I started signing up for like Better Life Fitness, and I didn't do it, and then they've just been calling me ever since. Like, I didn't even make it like my full account thing, but it's like the first thing you do is put in your fucking like email, phone number, or whatever. It's the worst.
Never sign up for like a deal, like a trip, or like looking for apartments, because like the moment you do, I just got like 4 emails, texts, like a call, like, hey, you want to come in today? Like, fuck off. I want to look at pictures.
I like that before this scene ends, like little Adam just like keeps reaching for the beer, and he's like, no.
How did you get so dumb?
Yeah.
Life's pleasures.
Want to share your factoid about drinking?
Oh yeah, fun factoid about drinking. Even only having a couple of drinks a week is shown to shrink the size of your brain.
So it's like more dense with smartness.
It makes room for more brain to
Let's go with
grow.
that. Let's go with that.
I see.
Yeah, see, as an avid drunk driver myself.
See, you actually think quicker because your thoughts have less space that they have to move between.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
Smarter, faster. I'm just saying. Like, I like how all of us just admitted we at least.
Damn, I don't want to touch that shit. I ain't shrinking my brain anymore. The fuck? What grows my brain?
SARMs.
What grows your brain? Oh my gosh.
Banana brain food? Omega
Yeah.
3s?
Why not?
This episode of the No Thumbs Up podcast brought to you by Canada SARMs.
It's brought to you by
Another one placed-
MK2866. the best to get lean. I don't want to go on.
Episode brought to you by Addicted. This duel.
So back at home, Marky Mark is fucking up a Denver omelet. He says the eggs are burnt and the bacon is still raw, so his wife just tosses it in the sink. And like half of me is like, man, that's mean. He was trying to make some breakfast and he just threw it out. But on the other hand, it's like, yeah, you'll probably be sick.
Can you be the godfather of time travel and can't make food?
He must have put the bacon and the eggs in at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like that was it. Just
The
toss
man
it
has
all in.
focused too much of his time on science, not enough on basic life skill.
True.
He starts asking if little Adam seems sad. Turns out that he actually made that little like VR like space game for him.
Absolute Chad move. What the fuck? Making a game for your kid? That's insane.
Right, like, and then you
Right.
think that this
How do you not
this-
realize he loves you?
right? The mom has to give him some quick hard facts, and she's like, "Yeah, look, when you're here, you're keeping it 100, but when you leave, you're like." That's her words, actually.
They're like,
Quick, I really love the fact that she's like, I can either tell you something that'll make you feel better, or I can just tell you the truth. And to be honest, I want to kind of just tell you the truth. I'm like, this is a really healthy relationship. God damn, like, this is kind of nice.
Yeah, I like here when they kiss. There's like kind of like a hug here that like lasts really long. They hold on it for a while because you're like, damn, you don't know how many of those like. Because he's supposed to die relatively soon. You don't know how many of those they got. Sorry. Yeah, that's bad. But she says you cook like a serial killer. She says, besides, you have time. Womp, womp, womp.
This movie made me realize that when someone actually passes, you don't get to hug them again. That led to a really good afterthought when the movie was over. I was like, wow. Uh-oh.
I best be hugging
You
some
can, they're
people.
just dead.
Thanks, Adam Project. I didn't have that thought, but we're okay now.
He whispers to himself, later than you think, which, like, I feel like there's this whole trope of, like, oh, stuff is going to happen later than I think it's going to, but then I don't know how that's supposed to apply. Like, because is he trying to say, like, oh, I'm not going to be the grandfather of time, it's going to be somebody else. But then even at the end of the movie, when Ryan and his wife Laura meet in that one class, they're still in the academy class learning that stuff. So it's like they didn't even stop time travel from being created. So
well, they might
Maybe
have.
they're learning a different subject.
Yeah, he's
I don't
learning
know.
piloting.
Space travel can still exist without time travel existing. We've been to the moon.
yeah, I guess, yeah.
We're going back to the moon too.
I saw Pete Davidson's going to
They were
space.
sending some rich people.
No, he's not anymore. He changed his mind.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't believe it.
He's got a beef with Kanye on Earth first.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skeeton, you need to fight.
Their boxing match. Back at Skynet, Adam and also Adam are walking straight up there. They're going to blow up this magnetic accelerator. The plan is little Adam stays back with the drone and big Adam goes forward with a lightsaber. They know that they're there because there's nobody else there. It's like, nah, you guys just didn't want to pay for extras.
True.
Roger, it's like, Roger that, Red Leader. This is Butternut Sippy Cup, over.
No, low-key, that's kind of my thumbs down moment. That was like the first time in the movie where I was like, okay, you knew they were coming, hence, like, but at the same time, you knew they were coming. The bad guys drive in fucking Chevy Tahoes, and then you just blow up the Chevy Tahoes, and then there's 6 guys around Ryan Reynolds. I'm like, so total of fucking what, 18 guys, you know? That's it. He already took out, you know, the other ship. Getting all the guys. Low key, when you first see that spaceship pull around, there's maybe what, like 5 on each side, 10 stormtroopers total. He kills off the first scene. Where the fuck did he go back to the future, pick up some more troops, and come back? Like, I'm just saying, this whole fucking end fight scene, the numbers were just off for me. That's it. The numbers
Also,
were just.
stay invisible.
I think they just blip into time. They just time travel in. I don't know if they're invisible. I think they just show up in that time.
No, because I think it has to be done in the ship.
But then they'd say they're invisible, right? Like, who invented invisibility cloaks?
I'm just saying.
Where's that movie?
It's some bullshit. That's all I'm saying. Fucking
Okay.
time travel. You know, and like nobody gets it.
I think it's cooler they do the Doctor Strange shit and
Magnets.
just show
How
up
do
and
they
then go
work?
away.
I think it's like in like no Legends when you're a champion that gets camouflaged, but when you attack you become visible. Right?
Which
So they're all Teemo.
They're all Teemo.
Yeah.
They're all fucking
And
little
Ryan
rats.
Reynolds played the matchup correctly. Take notes, Josh.
So I
Outlanders
like
don't get it.
that here the no wasted dialogue while the drone is going around. He's like, just look at them and smile in a way that says, I've been waiting my whole life for this, and punch them and smoke their banana.
Also, the gravity pulse thing he throws down doesn't affect Ryan Reynolds.
No,
but
of course
affects
not.
Circle. I'm just saying, like.
Like, imagine if you could program weapons in the future to just not hurt certain people. Like, you shot a bullet, someone just goes through him, hits the person that it wants to kill.
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit.
That's pretty much what this is. There's these two cars driving towards Ryan that are clearly going to kill him, so they don't care about that. One of them gets blown up by little Adam, and then the other one gets knocked to the side by Subaru. He like hits Ryan on his way out of the car, slams the door, Ryan just like kicks it, and he's like, "Hey, that's your mom's car," and he's like, "The car." It's like all rude. Turns out that the information for time travel is only in his head, but also on a diamond hard drive in the basement of this place. So they get in the elevator, and there's a line of, so this is where you work. Only took 44 years for you to take me here, huh? Fair. Outside, little Adam gets bonked and stolen by the bad lady. And
tell me where the bad lady touched you, little
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
They're in the basement and they find the hard drive in a very pointless plot hole of, oh my god, if I take this out, it could either be that this thing is ruined and nobody else could ever program it again, or everybody within 100 miles is dead. Click. Oh, okay. It's like, why did we go through this?
Really glad that went full circle. This was great. This was a really good plot. Like,
Just imagine if that's how the movie would have ended instead of just nukes everyone, rolls credits.
May as well.
I'd be like, wow, very bold.
Yeah. It definitely subverted expectations, whether it was good or
And
bad.
4 times the budget on this?
Or no, the box office on this. They won't give her the drive. They won't hand over the drive. So rather than shooting him, she brings in the younger version of him and threatens to kill him. It's like, just kill him.
oh, and then you won't exist now. Okay.
I mean, it's
great.
kind of like Chancellor Palpatine and just like Darth Vader. Just like bringing him in. Just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna let the fuck out of Luke. Just watch.
Yeah.
And then he ends up interfering, kind of like.
Affect me at all, but like, I'll kill you. Yeah, I want to die. What the fuck's the like? What do you got? Like, congrats.
I like how he's like when they're asking him to like hand it over, he's like, wait, I just gotta think it over for a second. Or it's just like, what? Why? Then just the subtle wink and hits his hand or her hand up, and she shoots the accelerator, and everything starts getting magnetized. Which is like, I don't know if I had a thumbs down moment already, but fuck this scene because it's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
It was literally so just like the only time there was actual magnetism was when it was like convenient to the plot. Like there was nothing beyond that. Just rough.
It's like,
Also,
okay.
I like Stormtrooper is just like, I guess I'm going. I'm taking you with me. Like
it's like all the
I'm like,
buttons.
why would you even care about the kid? You're being sucked into a magnet. Like I'd be you know, I'd be more frightened for my own life at that point. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna. I mean,
the buttons fly off his shirt because it's so strong. What about the zipper on his pants? Secondly, what?
His lightsaber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
That actually kind of pissed me off. The lightsaber just slowly rolling across her. Meanwhile, like a laptop just gets fucking yeeted across this, yeah.
It put the door off the hinges, but it didn't take little Adam by himself. You know, I'm just saying there is a little bit wrong with this movie magnetism.
Also, I don't know if anybody here is claustrophobic, but imagine, okay, so their bodies are all encased in metal. You're in like a case that is pretty much exactly as big as your whole body. You can't move it at all. You're stuck against this magnetic thing, and everything on your front side is just pushing against you. Like,
Oh god.
wouldn't that just be just so frightening?
Well, you
I don't think you need to be claustrophobic to hate that.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, it'd just be like laying down with a weighted blanket on top of you, you know?
Yeah, so the swords don't get sucked up, the guns don't. The nunchucks eventually do when it's convenient. The electronics and the computers all still work. It's like, I don't know if you've ever put a magnet up to your TV screen, but that shit don't work no more.
Does that work on modern screens now, though?
I don't know.
No, it works
but
on older ones.
Try it on your monitor.
magnetism affects like electricity.
Oh, see what it does to my GPU.
But it don't.
Yeah.
There's a kick-ass song that starts playing called "Foreplay / Long Time" by Boston. It's like a lot of the music that plays during this, you can tell, is very much like Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. Like, let's play something classic as we're
100%.
fighting around. He does that cool little slide past the Zuko, steals his nunchucks, and then thunk, they go off. Lil Adam uses his Nintendo Power Glove to magnet punch this guy in the head and like hold his head there. Then Spider-Man slides down the thing, grabs the lightsaber, does a real cool like jump up, and then superhero lands, like Deadpool reference.
okay, one, like, so this guy's entire body is sucked up to the magnet thing, but you, a 12-year-old, can pull your metal hand away from the magnet to punch a guy. And then, okay, so he's stuck like this. He ain't sliding down, but your fucking, 70-pound body slides down perfectly. Bullshit number 2. Bullshit number 3. Like this.
Have you ever heard of the term "built different"?
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool you're getting magnetized and all, but I'm built different.
I don't get mad. I'm no sign, but I
I
think
just
so.
simply go around.
Yeah, I
the
just ain't like
magnetic
that.
field.
Yeah, Josh. So I like that he just twirls it around. He's totally badass until he gets up there and then just gets whacked.
It looks like the I have the power of God in anime on my sidekick. He like spins around and gets like a ready position.
The door gets ripped off the hinges and hits Zuko off of Ryan, and he gets flown into the reactor, blowing it up even more and sucking even more stuff towards them. So it turns out Mark, who was on the computer this whole time, there's nothing he could do. So he goes and he's like, "Hey, we gotta get out of this place." But Sorium stops him with a gun. He's like, "Stand behind me, everyone." "Oh no, those are armor-piercing bullets. They won't, you won't stop them. They'll still kill us." And he's like, "Oh, thanks for telling me that."
I like that. Like, yeah, spread out a little bit.
Maya, the younger one, doesn't want to be a murderer, so Sorian pushes her aside and takes the gun. She's like, "I'm not playing. I killed Ryan's wife twice." And she pulls the trigger, and there's the slow-mo shot of the bullet being perfectly pulled through the air and then into younger
Some
Maya.
wanted curve the bullet shit.
God. Shoot the bullet. Why isn't the gun going? What's the gun made out of? I'm sorry.
And it's like,
the magnet that strong, it can grab such a powerful, fast-moving bullet.
and it pulls it at a perfect
That's
90-degree
terrifying.
angle. Like, can you imagine if it just pulled it enough to like just hit little Adam, who was sitting on that side?
Not even struggling. Like, at least if there was like a bit of like, I'm gonna get Yeah, like at least I'd be like, all right, she's really holding on, but like,
Selective magnetism.
On top of that, it's like it's not even that they play it off like, oh shit, that was lucky. Like Mark's just like, I knew that would happen.
Yeah. I called her bluff.
Yeah.
so fucking dumb.
So
You never understood the science.
it pays
I
to
mean, if
be
that
a
didn't work, he could just turn into the Hulk. So.
Ruffalo.
it pays to be a nerd, kids.
Yeah.
They
What's
make
that old crime show theme?
CSI
Miami. Yeah.
Ooh, they make a slow-mo epic jump behind these strong doors, and then there's like that cut to like the elevator doors opening, but you're just like, what happened in the basement? Didn't that thing explode and kill everybody within 100 miles? They're confused as to why the atoms are still there, but apparently they can feel themselves leaving. So they'll disappear soon.
All right. Yeah, I know, little Adam, man. It's wild.
Literally just had flashbacks to Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah. I like how they're just like, oh, well, maybe it like just takes a lot of time for the time to correct.
Yeah, man, time travel.
Let's go play some catch just like we used to.
God,
It's a wholesome scene.
what
It
an
is.
overbearing. Like, I get the point is that like Ryan has been like holding on to all this stuff forever, but Mark's just like, you are my son. You're my boy. I love you. You're my
love
boy.
that
You're
scene.
amazing. I love you.
Meanwhile, little Adam's just right there like,
I get it.
cool, yeah, cool. I'm here too, guys. You wanna, like,
Some of the end
you wanna say you love me, or I lost you too, you know, like, it's been like a year and a half. I'm having
Yeah,
a hard time grieving. Big Adam's like fucking 45 years old. Fuck
Got
that
over
guy.
it.
Yeah, he's kind of a fucking dick. I'm just like, I'm just saying, if you stop me from turning into that, like, just give me a fucking hug. Like, just say, you did a good job. Treat your mom nice. Or something. For me, no. You know, we're gonna just pile
Fuck
it.
you.
All right.
He
He's not
gives
pissed after this.
he gives little Adam a hug. You just see like old Ryan Reynolds metamorphosis into just like a giant chubby dude. He just like became content with love and never turned into the ass kicking pilot.
The one line that I think like hits the one line that I think hits really hard here is he's just like, I don't carry this around anymore. I'm like, okay, I get it, man.
It wasn't scene, but
Oh
it
yeah,
was-
he has been carrying it for like 30 some fucking years.
Mhm.
Compared to little 12-year-old Adam, only had to deal with it for like a year and a half.
And he's
Like,
still a little
bitch.
bitch.
Yeah.
What a little bit.
There's gotta be something we can do, little Adam says, and he's like, I can think of something. And they go start playing some catch. Ryan's like, well, Adam, when you get home, can you break your mom's ribs with a hug? He's like, yeah, I sure can. Turns out little Adam was the best part of him all along. So we're gonna smoke this banana or what? And they start playing ball, and eventually one of them misses, and he turns back, and everybody's gone. Back in the past with Lil Adam and his mom, he's about to leave for school. She's still looking for some papers, and he stops in his tracks and goes back to give her a big old fatty hug.
Also,
Not before he's still a bit of a snarky asshole towards her for a couple of lines.
well,
He's gonna be late for
Yeah.
school.
I thought he was mugging her, not hugging her.
Maybe he is. He's pretty cute, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't part of you actually just want Jennifer Garner to just give him like a real one in the middle of that? Be like, that's what you fucking get.
Yeah, you deserve it. And then
Punchable face.
Honestly.
You know that?
that's where we wrap up with Lil Adam, and then we just go see Big Adam. He's in this class. This woman comes in, and they're learn. Pardon?
What?
Oh, I just said I love this scene. I thought this scene was like genuinely just like really he was really charismatic. It was really cute. This was scene number 6, the end of the movie, that like made me cry a little bit. I was just like, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Good for
She shows up late to the wrong class in the wrong building, and they fall in love and they find each other in the echo. And that's the end of our movie. So, at this point in the movie, it is the ceremony of thumbs, at this point in the podcast, where we have to decide, hey, you recommend this movie to other people, or you can give this one a pass. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh
Okay.
wow, the crowd is split.
Interesting.
Yeah. So let's throw it to. Can we throw it to Alex here, our special guest?
I really liked it. I thought it was pretty touching, pretty heartfelt. They did explain some things really nicely, and I liked all the little sort of like Easter eggs they threw in. Like his dad built him a game where he was a pilot. He grew up to be a pilot. Like all those little things. I thought it was nice overall. I'm not a harsh movie critic.
My thing with this movie is I was like, it's all pretty good. It's just not very novel. Like it doesn't.
It's done it before. Like it's kind of, and see, I find it fits into that newer movie formula at this point where we kind of just like, it's like, oh yeah, you saw that in E.T., Star Wars, like, oh, the Deadpool reference, it's like,
it's all just very easy.
Yeah.
Like it's just a prime form. Like it's not a bad movie, but that's what makes it dangerous. So like, I don't know. I think it just takes away from like.
That's also why I gave it a thumbs down. Is because I enjoyed it and I had a good time. I was laughing. I emotionally felt everything, but I know I'm gonna forget the fuck out of this movie in a week. It's so forgettable and just run of the mill. Like, all right, here you go. Woo, that was fun. All right, on to the next thing.
It is definitely part of that influx of like really middle of the road movies. Like no one wants to go
But it was
outside
one of
the
the better
box and
ones,
try
for
to
sure.
like that, I did have
Ryan Reynolds for like an hour and a half. Like I love Ryan Reynolds as an actor, but the more you just give someone, hey, just be yourself. Like it's not. I don't emotional badly in it. I'm just yeah.
Yeah, he's a guy.
yeah.
Mark Ruffalo is great. I always love him in like anything. Honestly, he's always a nice surprise. He was like, you know, I didn't actually know he was in this movie, so when he came in, I was like, okay, yeah. I can fuck him. But like, no, it was like same shit you've seen before, just told a little differently. It's like taking the same lines to different movies, mashing together a movie, and being like, time travel. It's Back to the Future, but not Back to the Future, but also kind of like, you know, every other fucking time travel movie. I don't know. It's anything new, I guess.
It's got a good message to take away from it. I think the movie.
I love the perspectiveness for sure.
Yeah, like it. I don't know. If nothing else, you go away from it thinking like, you know, I should appreciate what I got more.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, travel movie. Not gonna recommend The Adam Project. Probably Back to the Future Part 2. I think that's just like, you know, if it doesn't beat Back to the Future Part 2, it's not a good time.
Yeah. I definitely had my gripes with the movie, and it was definitely like really tropey and like there's nothing in this movie that's new or gonna be stepping outside the box, but it was something that you can just kind of like sit down, turn your brain off a little bit, and just kind of enjoy. Like it was a good movie to just enjoy. Like Noah was saying, he got the emotion from it. Like honestly, if I take one thing from this movie, it was I want to go fucking hug my mom.
Exactly. Yeah.
Popcorn movie is what I was gonna say.
It is a popcorn movie for sure.
Yeah, 100%. It's
like theme park.
It goes where it needs to. It does the action proper. Like it's not at its core like it. I think for me at this point, it maybe like I'm being too critical, but I'm kind of expecting just like, you know, we're hitting a point with movies now where we're kind of starting to like hit a new wave of like Breaking Bad, and like the fact that it was a Netflix movie probably didn't help. But it did like a theatrical release, but like nobody knew about it, right? So I think like it's kind of just like a summer blockbuster, but not during the summer. Like it's just kind of one of those like it's a good action movie. It hits the notes it needs to, but it serves no purpose otherwise. Like.
Josh, you have anything to say about
Josh's
this one?
psychoanalysis, yeah.
Yeah.
The main character.
Not really. I feel like everything else is touched on. But yeah, just good message, bad execution, I think, all around.
I just think if it wasn't Ryan Reynolds and some of the actors, I literally just would not even glance or give a shit of a plot or anything.
Yeah, if it was literally
Like I feel like it
anybody
had to
else.
be those people to make the movie.
Okay, well, with that, we will now get to our wheel here. We'll give it a big old spin to decide which movie we'll be reviewing for next week. But before that, if you made it this far and you like what we're doing here, don't forget to leave a comment on which movies you'd like to see us do in the future. Subscribe if you like what we're doing, and also we're available wherever audio podcasts are available, so you can watch us there. Rate us 5 stars. That'd be nice. I'll go over our...
On all the platforms, baby. We hit that shit. You know, you really want to listen to a bunch of idiots talk about a movie on your way to work? Fuck yeah, you know where to hit us up.
I do it, you know.
Hope it lands on Josh's movie.
So our movies
I
on the
do really
wheel
want to see that. I want to see
yeah.
Get Hard.
for this week.
I really want to get hard.
Me too. Our Hereditary, which is Alex's movie, our special guest for today. Get Hard, which is Josh's movie. Werewolves Within, my movie. John Carpenter's The Thing, which is Dane's movie. Step Up 2, which is Noah's movie. And Darkman, which is Marcel's movie. Here we go.
Singer Get Hard.
Werewolves Within, that's my movie.
I'm actually really excited.
I think it's been a minute since we've had a Joel movie.
Yeah, I think it has. It's been a while. Yeah, so next
Oh, I can't
week's-
make it next week, guys.
Shit.
Shoot.
Yeah, next week we will be reviewing Werewolves Within. Thank you for coming this far with us. We have been No Thumbs Up. Peace.
Cheers.